What's going on, my fellow Jedi and Padawans? Welcome back to another Jedi gaming video. This is the last A14 weapon that we got for you guys with the Line in the Sand linear fusion rifle. She is an arc burn for you with that precision frame, fires the long-range precision bolts. This weapon's recoil pattern is more predictably vertical, so we don't gotta worry too much about stability in my personal opinion. Going with some bangers though for the third and fourth column for PvE. Definitely not a bad option for PvP, but it's almost like a sniper. You gotta kind of pre-fire, you gotta know what you're doing with this thing. So not my first choice for a weapon for PvP, but also not too shabby. First off, we got ourselves Cast No Shadows. The origin trait right here, dealing melee damage, increases this weapon's handling and loads a small amount from reserves. Nothing too crazy with this for this weapon unless you're doing something like Oryx where you got those thrall pushing you where you can melee get a reload in, maybe something like that. But my personal opinion definitely feels better on stuff like with the Perfect Paradox or the Marty's Retribution, but not a bad origin trait overall. Alright, so barrel masterwork. Masterwork, I actually went with reload on this bad boy so we can really crank out that DPS with this weapon for the PvE realm, but we're gonna go with that small bore, of course, for 7 stability, 7 range. Nothing else in the barrel category really felt right for me, just because if we did like Hammer Forge, we're only getting 3 more range. Doesn't really matter. You could go with some of your other ones, but the recoil direction is already pretty straight up and down, so that little extra stability at like plus 10, plus 15 with some recoil direction does not matter as much, so that's why we went with the old small bore. Now, second column right here, we got our battery liquid coils. Definitely what I would go with right here. We get increased charge time by 40 milliseconds, but that's not too crazy in my personal opinion. Really nothing in that aspect. It's literally 0.4 of a second or 0.04 of a second. This is absolutely negligible, so we got that plus 3 impact for a little extra DPS. All right, first option, third column right here, we got ourselves Clown Cartridge. Definitely what I would go with as my number 1 choice right here. Reloading this weapon randomly overfills it from reserve, so sometimes 10 to 50% depending on what you get luck-wise, but Clown Cartridge is definitely very good for that extra DPS. You can get a bunch of shots inside of here. We have 8 in the magazine normally, so having this bad boy in there, not too bad. You can get about 10 to 12 to 15. Another option, we got that rapid hit, just like our scout rifle we went over yesterday. We got ourselves rapid precision hits, temporarily increases stability. Reload stability on this thing, like I said, not a big issue, at least for me in my personal opinion, because of that precision frame. Already pretty juicy stability wise, predictably straight up and down, like I said, but that reload increase is what we are looking for sure. Definitely feels nice, but I do like that overflow that we have of the Clown Cartridge a little better. Last option right here, definitely more of a little fun thing, but also you can use it to juice some DPS. You know, you do your DPS on that enemy, throw a grenade, you get a full reload of the magazine, and then you can do your DPS again, so not a bad option, especially if you're throwing like a weakening grenade, something like that at the enemy. Way kind of cool in my personal opinion, but definitely would be my third choice in this column. Now, the fourth column, kind of juiced in my personal opinion. We got like 3-4 different options right here. Definitely 3 for sure. Firing line is my first one. The weapon gets some nice precision damage increase when we're near 2 or more allies, so definitely a good choice, but you got to make sure that you're on the same page with your teammate doing damage from the same spot, so definitely a situational kind of thing, but also definitely very good juice to the damage. Now, not a bad option right here, especially with demolitionist, something like that. You can get yourself volt shot. Reloading this weapon after defeating an enemy gives yourself a nice little jolt on that next shot, so very good for getting some ad clear potential on that bad boy, getting jolt on some champions to stun them, do a little bit of extra damage on them as well, so definitely would be my last choice in this fourth column, but something if you're going for a fun little roll of demo with volt shot, very fun to go into that normal content and just lay waste to some of those enemies. Now, what I think my number 1 choice right here would be for the PvE realm is that good old bite and switch. We got damage dealing with all of our weapons, so our kinetic, our special, as well as our heavy right here allows us to get that damage boost absolutely juicy as well, 30% damage, so this is what I would go with. Clown Cartridge rapid hit would also be what I would kind of interchangeably. I think Clown Cartridge a little bit better, but bait and switch, definitely fourth column is the GOAT, so overall, this thing definitely good at damage, nothing too insane about it in my personal opinion, but I do like it for sure, so we're gonna give it probably a 4.4 out of 5 for sure for this realm inside of the PvE. PvP will be a little bit different, but we'll cover that in just a second here. Now when we move on to PvP, like I said, definitely like runs like a sniper. You got to kind of pre-fire, if you will, because you that charge time, but we're going with small bore as our barrel, as well as charge time for our master race, so we can make that as short as possible. Like I said, definitely is what is kind of the stopping point or the bottleneck of this weapon for the PvP realm, but small bore feels great as our barrel. Liquid coils, again, getting that +3 in that impact, definitely what I would go with. You're able to obviously get defeats pretty much no matter what, but that +3 can help against some of those juicy titans with overshields, stuff like that. Maybe even a super that is arc. You can really do some damage with this bad boy, so liquid coils would be my go-to. Third column, you got one option in my opinion right here, is moving target. Increase movement speed, target acquisition when aiming, when moving down sights, so not a bad option for with the Crucible. You're always moving and sliding, or at least I am definitely sliding around the corner with this bad boy. Get that pre-fire, slap somebody in the face, they're not going to know it hit them because of this as well, so definitely what I would pick as my #1 option and only option in the third column. Now same kind of thing in the fourth column. Really nothing too insane in this. I think one option again, we got opening shot, improved accuracy and range on that opening shot of the attack. You're going to get about 2-3 shots in this thing when you pick it up from a heavy, unless you're hoarding ammo, so you got to be careful, but you're able to get this to proc pretty consistently unless you're trying to shoot in like 3-4 in concessions where there's a bunch of people in a row, but you can get a lot going on with this bad boy. You get 20 in aim assist, 25 in range, absolutely disgusting with that moving target, so this is what I would go with. But again, I like those grenade launchers, I like those LMGs, I like big, you know what I'm saying, opening shot, linear fusion, stuff like that, so you got to be careful in my personal opinion, but giving this thing a 4.0 out of 5 for that PvP realm. Definitely got better options, my thoughts, but up to you, up to your playstyle. Some people like the linears, you know what I'm saying, some people like those heavy snipers, some people like rockets. Totally a gameplay choice. But again, appreciate all you guys coming back to the channel, means a lot to me, helps the channel out. We're gonna switch it up with that little bit of variety, hopefully, because Destiny is slowly dying, but there's a lot of good things on the future, so we will see what's going on. But again, appreciate all you guys for coming back, checking out the channel. Don't be afraid to like and subscribe. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.